We sit in what is the most historic area of American soccer.
Elsewhere tonight, the North American Soccer League playoffs are continuing.
If you connect Kearney, Harrison, Newark, New Jersey, this area where we are right now, people still think of it as a soccer hub.
Legendary American players cut their teeth in this section of the country.
Tab Ramos, Tony Meola, John Harkes. When I was growing up, these were the guys, man.
It's where most iconic U.S. men's national team stars came out of.
And playing for the Metro Stars, the area's own great star of the 1990-1994 World Cup, Tab Ramos.
Tab Ramos deciding to come home and then joining the Metro Stars, it really validated the MLS.
Had a step, but then he slowed up, works it over to Ramos, he shoots, he scores!
One fine day in 2006, our owner, Mr. Manischitz, walks into our Hoboken office, and he comes in and he just asked me to go with him to New York for a meeting. And that's when I found out we owned a soccer team.
Just weeks ago, Red Bull, the makers of the popular sports energy drink, purchased the Metro Stars, and all for a record price in Major League Soccer.
They bought the team right before the start of the season, so everyone was planning on things being the Metro Stars.
At that moment, I thought it would be impossible to rebrand a team in 45 days. The last thing that was done was literally the locker room door was still wet when he came into the building.
And now we are introducing a new New York soccer tradition, the running of the bulls.
The Red Bulls team's investing time and money and energy, and I think they have revitalized what's happening in soccer in this area.
Dating back to 2000, there was a time in Major League Soccer's history that we thought Major League Soccer might not be around anymore. What Red Bull purchasing this team meant more than anything else, at least to me, that we were going to be okay.
On opening day for the Red Bulls, it was awesome. We had Shakira, Rihanna, Wyclef, and global stars like Pele, all at Giant Stadium.
You could tell it was different, and you could tell the bar had been raised.
Seeing that stadium with 40-some-odd thousand people was something I'll never forget.
And it is the grand opening of the newest crown jewel in Major League Soccer. Welcome to Red Bull Arena, soccer fans.
When we opened Red Bull Arena, it's the first time I think the community felt like they had a club of their own that they could connect to and feel part of, and something they could really be proud of because of how great this stadium is.
The detail, the attention to the detail has the European feel, very much like Seattle, but even more a football-specific stadium.
The opening match was something that is unforgettable.
It's the left foot of Robinson, second chance! New York in front!
When Joel scored that first goal, this place erupted. 25,000 people came to the building and 25,000 people left with a smile on their face. We knew we had created something that was different than had ever been created on the American soccer landscape.
I think it was a great night of football, inaugurated a fantastic stadium.
I think it was the very first step to draw a deeper connection between the fans.
That was one of the few games where the result of the game didn't matter. Just the fact that we have a home. We now have a home.
If you think about how the brand Red Bull has developed, it's got a lot of energy, passion, humility.
It kind of plays right into the style of what Red Bull soccer is. You're going to play a Red Bull team, it's going to be 90 minutes of, man, we're going to have to really work.
Every team that plays against them, at the very least, they're going to know that they've been in a fight.
Right when the beginning whistle starts, they're going to come out and they're going to fight and claw. The style of play, the fact that it's not necessarily committed to the idea that we have to have possession or anything like that, that we're actually going for and being aggressive. It's energetic, it's exciting. I like that.
Kleshton has put it in, and they have scored, just like that.
The fans here have always been incredible.
On a normal game day, we will march to the stadium in one unison team, and the home team knows that we are behind them 100%, and the away team knows that this is not a friendly environment to come into.
Being at a home game or an away game, you can still hear the supporters when you get to that part of the national anthem and the word red is said, and you hear everybody in unison say it. It gives you chills a little bit. You're taking the most historic song, in essence, in our nation's country, and you're putting a little flair into it when it connects back to what we do here with the New York Red Bulls.
We have Empire Supporters Club that comes from one direction on their march. We have Viking Army that comes from another direction on the march. They all meet in the middle and walk in as a group, and it kind of symbolizes the sense that no matter where you're from, the soccer team is bringing the community together.
That energy that the guys bring to the field, we try to match that in the stands. That's the connection that we love to see from the players.
People like to count us out. People like to think we can't make impact. And Bradley Wright Phillips coming in with a lot of doubts and a lot of uncertainties, and that's something that us fans as well got to connect with.
I can't even put it into words how far that has brought us this season. You know, people doubting us and us proving them wrong every week. It shuts a few people up.
He came in to our club a little bit under the radar. He came in here, showed what he can do, and that's all due to him.
Between 2014 and 2018, I don't think you will see a goal scorer in the history of this league have more of an impact than Bradley Wright Phillips.
Phillips with the flag down, shooting, he scores, and there it is! Goal number 100 went right through us.
I mean, Bradley came out of nowhere, fastest player to get to 100 goals.
Bradley Wright Phillips, number 100, he's gonna take it, baby!
What a season he had that year. It was never about Bradley, it was about the team, but he just kept on delivering in big moments and big games.
What a way to get number 27. Bradley Wright Phillips ties the all-time single-season scoring record.
And Thierry was always challenging him to be better. If Bradley Wright Phillips had 15 goals, Henri would tell him, why don't you have 19? You should have 22 by now. And I guarantee you, when that final tally of 27 goals was done, Henri looked at him and probably said, you know, it could have been 35.
Blitz up with McCartney, ball deflected, and Henri with the finish. And there it is, Thierry Henry, off woodwork and in. Henri from the impossible angle has put it home. His second goal of the night. And oh my, one for the highlight reel.
There's been so many great moments. There's been so many great games. Take the Beckham game.
Beckham's first game in MLS. We sold out Giant Stadium.
Look at that, and a early arriving crowd that are in their seats ready. Is this guy that influential?
The story of the night was the sea of Beckham jerseys and the faction of Red Bulls fans who were clearly outnumbered, but they were loud.
Into the near post and into the goal. 1-0 Red Bulls.
And you couldn't dream of a better scenario. There were 9 goals scored in that game. We're down, they're up, we're down.
Come on again! Ladies and gentlemen, David Beckham, assist number 2.
And Juan Pablo, of all players, magically scores the goal in the 88th minute.
But he can't keep this one out! The 9th goal of the game! The 3rd place of the game! Juan Pablo Angel!
If there was a game as an advertisement for the league, that was the perfect game. But if you said, what's the game you might remember the most? Clearly it's what's known as the Red Wedding.
It's bragging rights to who owns the city of New York.
Red Bulls, one of 4 teams not to score from one. That header's in though! Grella comes to the ball line, gets the cross in, Wright Phillips! And it's in!
It's just a game that took on a life that no one could have seen coming.
But able to keep it now on the left side. There's a head ball redirect from Aurelian Cowan. Wright Phillips with a bicycle kick. That is in as well. Hop on the bike, BWP. 3-0 New York.
Every Red Bulls player answered the bell that day.
The game they scored on their first. That was the opener. McCarty going for another. It's the exact same thing for the third minute of the game. It is an absolute rout here in Yankee Stadium. This is disgraceful. Trying to cut it back on Frederick Briand. Sets it up instead for the fifth goal. Alex Mule, his first for the Red Bulls, his first in MLS. This is getting ridiculous.
John, it was ridiculous a long time ago.
This was one that on so many levels put that first exclamation point into this is going to be a special rivalry.
Every player to step on the field that day, all 11 starters, all 3 subs, seemed to have a contribution to what would be the defining day of the rivalry to this point.
Felipe hooking this in. Saunders lost in space. It's headed in. Gonzalo Veron's second goal for the Red Bulls. Bounce on the doorstep. Bomb is in there. It's 7. Incredible. Gideon Bomb.
My son was really sick in the hospital, and I remember they were wearing wristbands with my son's initial on them.
We wanted to do something special for them. In the Red Wedding, he was right there with us every step on the field.
For them to go out there and put on a show 7-0 against our crosstown rival really is something I'll never forget.
In the aftermath of the Red Bulls' victory, Dax McCarty going to Twitter and typing one word: touchdown.
I know that there's a rivalry with NYCFC, but personally, there's probably not an organization in the entire world that I dislike more than DC United.
One of the great American soccer rivalries.
DC United is our original rivalry. We've had epic battles.
Started right from 96. The first 5 years, they won it 3 times.
Nothing bothers me more in knowing that they got to put an MLS Cup banner in the stadium before us.
DC United, at the expense of the New York Red Bulls, who advanced to the Eastern Conference Championship.
There is that added pressure. You always want your team to win, but you never want to lose to a rival.
Take that history and the dislike of the 2 teams, and it tells a pretty nice tale. Aleko Eskandarian of DC United,
Unlucky, and it's into the back of the goal.
Scoring, taking a swig of Red Bull, and then spitting it out for all of the fans to see.
How about that for you?
How about rubbing it in?
I think the intensity of the rivalry probably peaked in 2014.
Henry crossing in on the doorstep. Louis Abdullah has done it again against DC. It is a massive away goal for the Red Bulls.
The Red Bulls on their way to the Eastern Conference Finals.
It's been great over the last couple years to see that we've started stockpiling those wins against DC and that we're finally able to kind of turn the tide. However, there was a long time where it seemed like, maybe there really was a curse.
The curse. You had to bring up the curse, huh? Does it live? Maybe it does.
The curse of Curricula is something you can either believe, dismiss, but when you connect that one moment and the manner in which this team lost in its first game played at Giant Stadium.
Over the save and get out of the into the net. That's an own goal by Nicola Curricula. Curricula tried to send it across the end line. Instead, put it in the top right corner.
With the lukewarm history of the team for many years beyond that, then the narrative all fits together.
The only original team in Major League Soccer never to win a major trophy. There was the Open Cup in 2003. They lost 1-0. There was the MLS Cup final that was played in 2008. Columbus defeating them by the final score of 3-1.
And it's a rallying cry. We've got to get over this perceived curse.
I think people are at that point where they're just dying to be able to lift the trophy and put the star on top of the jersey.
He came here and he's known for being cursed. Come on.
I do remember the joy that I had when the New York Red Bulls won their first Supporters' Shield in 2013.
Cuts it back, Lloyd. Sam! Yes! A beautiful strike by Sam to make it 3-1 New York. And if there is such a thing as the ghost of Caricala, this group that's been assembled in 2013 has told it to get the heck out of New Jersey and never come back. Supporters' Shield and the regular season championship to the New York Red Bulls. And the celebration is on at Red Bull Arena tonight.
And then comes the moment when you lift that shield and say, we are the best. For this year, we are the best. No one can take that away from us.
If you look at that run, 3 Supporters' Shields in Europe, when you win your league, you're the champion of that league. In the US, it's a different model.
Being part of that game in 2015, it was a pretty dominant performance.
A lot of pundits didn't even pick us to make the playoffs, and so we went into the season with a chip on our shoulder, and we carried that all season.
Question off the corner. Zizzo at the head, and it's finished up by Wright Phillips. Bradley Wright Phillips.
So the dynamic of the third Supporters' Shield is very different from the first 2. It's a lot trickier. The Red Bulls need to win, and they also need help with Atlanta United playing at the same time. And because of that, the Shield was not physically at Red Bull Arena.
With a chance to give the Red Bulls the lead. Saved by Grinwis. What a big stop. Derek Etienne Jr. takes it into the 18. Pulls it back. Right foot. Go! Derek Etienne Jr. making amends for the missed penalty, and the Red Bulls have the lead.
We wanted to celebrate here at home, and we didn't physically have that shield to give to our fans, but the fans provided one for us with a Captain America shield.
Three Supporters' Shields between 2013 and 2018.
That's a pretty remarkable streak.
I feel very fortunate to get to raise each of those. And that success that we've had here, it's built on everything special that this club has given us. I'm proud to have been at the beginning of that homegrown process.
We played an important role throughout our history in developing the game, inspiring the community here. Our academy, our training facility, our owner has invested millions and millions in growing this game. You see Tyler Adams now in the World Cup, and what he's done, that is coming full circle to show the world what we've done as a club locally here. And Tyler grew up with us, played with us, and when you saw how he performed at the World Cup, that was one of our proudest moments as a franchise. And that's the culmination of all the investments our owner made to help us grow the game.
Red runs deep is, I think, for a lot of people, their connection to the club.
I love that this organization does give young local guys an opportunity to play.
And we're going to keep developing that pipeline to give kids from this area hope and dream to become the next Tyler, and we're going to provide them that opportunity.
The three Supporters' Shields, the stadium, our training facility, our academy, our youth programs, the team has been really successful, and we are really excited about what the future will bring. We're all looking forward to building on our successes, and we know that we'll bring an MLS Cup to Red Bull Arena.
'23, I would say, has the capability of being another special season for New York.
Every single year, they've been in the playoffs.
We're looking forward to the new season, to bring in young players. I'm excited.
The one thing that we've always relied on for a very, very long time is a great style of play and an opportunity for people to step in and excel. 2022, we saw Daniel Edelman and Gomez. And that's what this kind of league's all about. You get to the playoffs and anything can happen.
It's coming. I don't think there's any doubt about it. At one point in the very near future, this team will be the last one standing